Hey guys, welcome back to another garden tour. It's Sunday, September 1st, almost the end of summer. There's not much going on in the garden. Our nighttime temperatures are dropping pretty significantly, so the plants are really starting to slow down. Basically, the blueberries, raspberries, tomatoes have all basically stopped, and just whatever fruits on the plants is ripening up. In the case of the raspberries and the blueberries, there's not much left. Everything else is just kind of holding in the field. The beets and the onions are all just kind of staying kind of dormant, and we're picking them as we need them. So we'll do a quick tour of the beds, and we have a little bit of harvesting to do today. So let's get started. So in the first bed, again, the beets, we were gonna pickle them, but we find that we're using them fairly regularly. So they're just holding well in the field, and we pick them as we need them. Our romaine plant is just now beginning to flower out again, so we'll leave them and see what happens. The squash in these two squash plants in this bed are beginning to die back. We have one well-developed butternut squash, and there's a couple others that have started. We'll see if they ripen up in time before everything dies back. And the other squash plant in the back is also starting to die back, so hopefully those 7 spaghetti squash that are on there have a chance to ripen up. They should. They're usually pretty good at ripening everything up before the plant dies back. And a couple more peppers on our lone pepper plant should be ripening up as well. Again, the nighttime temperatures are getting really low, so the tomatoes are not going to do much. Hopefully the fruit that is set on the plant, there is quite a bit of it, ripens up. And that all depends how warm and how sunny of a September we get. Sometimes it's good, temperatures are warm, lots of sun, everything does well. Other times things really turn cold really quickly, so yeah, you're at the mercy of Mother Nature. Brussels sprouts still growing. Again, this one's another race. We'll see what ends up happening with these sprouts. I don't know if I'm going to grow this crop again next year. It's a lot of space devoted to a crop that is really hit or miss for our climate. So I think I'm going to plant something a little bit more reliable, and yeah, just guaranteed that we get a harvest. Again, the onions, at least the ones that have fallen down, they're just holding in the field. I'll pull them out probably this week. The ones that are down, the ones that are still standing, we'll leave them and bend the stalks over probably second week of September. Second round of beets, a couple lettuces. These ones that I thought they were going to grow a lot quicker, but now I find that they're in a race with the weather. So we'll see if we get anything out of this bed. Kale and Swiss chard again will be growing well into the fall. Still some flowers on our strawberry plants, but for the most part they have called it quits for the year. Broccoli plants, we're going to be harvesting some of those today. They're ready to come out, and I think there is another cabbage ready to be harvested. And in the bed on the end, you can see the butternut squash The older leaves in the back starting to die back. Same with the spaghetti squash, the older leaves in the back first to die back as the cold weather approaches. Again, still quite excited to see what's under this canopy. We can count, I can see 3 spaghetti squashes already, but I'm sure there's quite a few more in there. Cucumbers are starting to die back, but still putting out quite a few cucumbers, so hopefully they have a chance to ripen up. And zucchini still going strong, putting out lots of zucchinis. And around back, the new growth on this plant looks okay, should survive for a little bit longer. I'll do a comparison. I mean, that's the one. They really do grow quite a lot in 1 week. All of a sudden, that has really packed on the growth. And again, ones that small, I don't know if they're going to get a chance to ripen up before everything dies back. But this plant is the older section of this plant is starting to die back, but out here, everything out here is still doing quite well. And oddly enough, we did have a bit of deer damage on these leaves. I guess they didn't like them very much. They only grabbed a couple of them. Didn't take any squash. I find that once the squash get a certain size, the deer kind of leave them alone. And these leaves are really rough and prickly, so I don't think they're too fond of eating this plant. It's kind of only as a last resort. All right, let's harvest a bit. All right, first things first, let's grab, see how, yeah, that's a good size. I don't know if that one got hit by a bug. We'll see if that one ends up doing anything. Cabbage. There's nice broccoli right here. There's another nice one back here. See if I can move the camera. Netting. This one's ready. Another broccoli ready. That was a pretty good size as well. There's 2 there. Rest I'm gonna leave in. They're big, but they're probably gonna get a little bit larger. Especially if we get a couple days, a couple sunny days. They'll pack on quite a bit of new growth, so leave those. Still a ton of peppers over there. All right, so a couple big heads of broccoli and a big head of cabbage. Let's see what else we can find. That's about it. Not gonna take too much more. All right, guys, that about does it. Just finished raining, and the wind is starting to pick up. I'm not sure how many more updates I'm gonna get out of the garden. I might not do one every week. Again, things are slowing down, and there's still lots of harvesting to do. But on a week-to-week basis, things don't really change all that much. As a consequence of the garden slowing down, I do get to focus on other hobbies I have, so there may be a little bit more diversity in the videos that come out in the near future. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you later.